Flashback.
So this video is solely gonna be about my nursing journey, specifically towards me taking my NCLEX. It's gonna talk about my study techniques, kind of how I reviewed all my content, how I used UWorld, how I used the Klimek videos, well, voiceovers.
End of flashback. Many unbearable hours later.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Channel Slims. If this is your first time here, welcome. And of course, you know the drill. Subscribe, turn your notifications on, and if you haven't already, make sure you're commenting and liking this video. So, how I studied, I started studying in about May. I graduated May 7th. And so I kind of took a week off, I believe, after May 7th to just say, okay, school's done. I just want some time to relax and then start studying. So I think based on this book that I wrote my schedule in, I started May 12th, I believe. I started studying May 12th. Kind of what I decided to do was to review content first. I know a lot of people just dive right into UWorld and just start doing questions and that's how they learn. I didn't want to do that. I mean, that works for a lot of people, so if that's working for you, don't stop doing that. But I wanted to review content first to kind of just refresh my brain on every single thing, and also to kind of get a baseline of where I'm at when I started doing the questions. So my school used ATI, so we got this comprehensive review book. So this is the book that I used to review all the content, and I just went by subject area. So I started with like med-surg and broke that down into like immunology, oncology, GU, GI, neuro, you know, all that stuff, cardiac. Then I went on to like mental health, pharm, maternal newborn, pediatrics, all that stuff. But I kind of mixed up med-surg by making it like I did easy topic today, tomorrow I'll do something a little bit hard, I'll take a break, do something a little bit easier that I could learn. And the reason why I use this book, it doesn't go into much detail. You know, it just gives you the information that you need without you having a lot of fluff. And I think that's kind of where you're at right now when you're studying for your NCLEX. It's just like, these are the things that you need to know and you need to be able to analyze from that baseline, if that makes sense. So this is the book that I used to study all the content, and I went through every single topic area or subject area before I did my UWorld. So yeah, I used the ATI Comprehensive Review book to make notes, make my flashcards to review, but it was kind of getting a little bit tedious. So I would write notes and then write flashcards, and I feel like it was taking up a lot of my time, so I decided to kind of just take a step back. And just like the nursing process, I decided to evaluate what I was doing and how effective I was being with my time. I think I was kind of wasting time, so what I ended up doing instead was reading the book. I really love using Quizlet. That's what I used throughout my entire time of nursing school to study. Because I write really slow. That was the issue. I was writing flashcards really slowly and writing notes. It took up the whole day. So I decided to go back on Quizlet. Now, when I decided to reevaluate everything again, I started to incorporate the Klimek voiceovers that I have. There are 12 of them. Granted, he doesn't go over every single thing, but it is very helpful in making complex things very simple, like acid-base imbalances and fluid and electrolytes, like little things like that I kind of struggle with remembering all the side effects and things that you need to watch for and all of that stuff. He made a lot of things very simple with acronyms or unique ways of remembering. So I would definitely recommend you getting your hand on the Klimek voiceovers. If you're interested in them, please let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to share them with you. So I incorporated that into my study plan going forward, and how I did it, I didn't just listen to voiceover 1, voiceover 2, voiceover 3, because it doesn't really go by subject of how I was studying. So I kind of just took an hour or two out of a day, and I decided to just kind of skim through all the voiceovers to hear what he was talking about essentially, and kind of aligned those voiceovers with the content that I would look over that day. So I would listen to his voiceovers first, write notes like, okay, I'm doing GI, so voiceover 7, even though this is day 3, is about GI, so I'm going to listen to that, write the notes, and then go over the content in this book as well, and add everything together on my Quizlet. Another part of me reviewing content, I would write my notes and say, today I did immunology, oncology, GI, and tomorrow I'm gonna do GU. Once I wrote my GU notes and content the following day, I would take some time out of that day as well to review what I just wrote the day before. So I would have reviewed my GI content as well. And that's kind of just how I kept going through my days. I review what I did the day before, and if I had more time, review more than one topic. And then I make sure I did what I planned for that day as well. So keep reviewing, keeping your mind fresh, but also adding more content to your brain. That way you're adding stuff, but you're also not forgetting. So that's what I did. And I also tried to incorporate practice questions where I could. I didn't really do a whole bunch, but I had this book. It was kind of helpful. It's a lot of questions though. I bought this book. I don't even know why I'm showing you guys. It's Lippincott Q&A review for NCLEX-RN. Why I said I don't know why I'm showing you guys is because I started using it, then I stopped, because by the end of the day, I was just kind of tired and I didn't want to do questions that much. I would just kind of do a few and be like, all right, whatever, I don't really care. But it's really good. It's just that some of the topics go really in depth, like really in fine detail, and it's kind of like, you don't need to know that. But you can try it, or you can just find questions online that you can just generally do to, you know, help with your studying process. And once I was done overall with content review, I took an entire week to just go over everything one more time. So after I was done my content, I said, all right, I am gonna just go over all the flashcards I made every day, went over, and that's when I was trying to incorporate the questions before I started UWorld. So on to UWorld. I bought the 90 day. I think I bought the 90 day with 2 self-assessments. And once I was done with my content review, I jumped into UWorld. I did about 5 to 6 days of questions first to kind of get used to how they asked questions, the format, everything. Kind of got my feet wet a little bit before I jumped into doing my first self-assessment. So I did that for a couple days, and then following that I did my first self-assessment, and when I did that I got a very high chance of passing. I don't remember the grade, but I'll show it to you guys for sure in the video, posted somewhere on the screen. So it was kind of very reassuring to get a very high chance of passing after just doing my first self-assessment. So I think I started doing questions June 12th or June 13th, sometime around that day. Yeah, so I started doing questions around that day, and my exam was July 6th. And I was trying to get through the entire question bank. So I saw how many days I had, subtracted the 2 days I would have done a self-assessment, and tried to just divide the question bank by the amount of days I had. And I kind of just went through them. I really had no other commitment. So I'm really thankful for that I could just, you know, tunnel vision all of my focus into my exam. I did about 140 questions a day. Granted, I'd probably do 70 first and then 70 again later on in the day or something like that, or I would do 120, but it was always one or the other. But I think I did about 1,600 questions before my exam. I didn't go through the whole question bank as I planned, but I did about 1,600. And UWorld itself is very similar to the NCLEX exam in relation to the formatting as well as the user interface. Very, very similar. Something that I really loved about UWorld was the rationales. That really helped me to learn a lot of things more in depth that I did not learn through my content review. It was very helpful. So even if you get a question right, go back through all the questions and look at all the rationales. There is something there that you did not know, I guarantee. So look at all the rationales and learn from it. Me, I am someone that learns when something is repetitive. And so again, I incorporated that with Quizlet. Every time I did a test that I made and I was done and I was going back through seeing the things I got wrong, and even the ones that I got right, I still read the rationales. I learned stuff and I'm like, oh, you know, that's good to know. I'm gonna remember that, especially drugs. Like, there's so many drugs. I would write my little questions on Quizlet based on the content that I kind of wanted to remember from UWorld, and I would review it. So say I did a test today, and after I've done the test and I'm reviewing it, I would split my screen. So I have my Quizlet here that I'm making a study set, and I'd have UWorld on the other side, and I'd read. I'm like, okay, I want to make notes of that. I'd write it on Quizlet, and once I'm done for the day, the following day before I go and do another set of questions, I would review that Quizlet set. And that's kind of how I did it when I started my questions. So similar to how I was doing the content with reviewing and studying, it was just like that with UWorld. So another thing with UWorld is that you can use tutor mode or a timed mode or neither. I started with tutor mode, which basically means that when you're doing your questions, once you submit a question, you'll see whether or not you got it right alongside the rationales there before you can move on to the next question. That's how I started doing the questions, and it's very helpful when you know you're learning, but I was over it for two reasons. One, it was mentally psyching me out when I would get a question wrong, especially when I would see like 78% of people got it correct, or it was something that I thought that I really knew and then they're like, ah, nah, you do not know the answer. So it would mentally psych me out, and then going forward in the test, I would start second guessing myself, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe it's not right because of how I answered the other question, or I didn't feel as confident in myself anymore. So for that reason, I turned it off. I mean, I would just see what I got wrong at the end of the test, and I felt better that way because I wasn't getting that anxiety. I could just go through slowly, and it was more similar to prepping me for the NCLEX experience. And I felt like it really helped me to just be in the zone throughout every question and really test myself instead of relying on information to go through the exam, the rest of the exam that I was doing. I selected every single topic that you could select and just generated a test that had every single topic. A lot of people study by topic, so they would do a test based on respiratory or pediatrics or maternal newborn or leadership. I didn't want to do mine like that because the NCLEX is not like that. I wanted it to be as organic of an exam as it could be, so throwing me things out of nowhere that I would have to just pick up on and say, all right, we're switching to answering a respiratory question now when I just answered a cardiac one. I guess like I wanted to really tune in with my brain, like for us to have like a avatar moment. I know a lot of people go by topic, and that is okay if that's what makes you comfy, but I think just doing the test with everything overall, just every single topic, is more challenging, of course, but really helps you in the long run. As it relates to the percentiles, I was in the 95th percentile, and I think the average or the median was 48. But I'm gonna tell you guys, do not watch those things. And not because I'm saying I'm in the 95th percentile, do not take me as the judge or the standard and to say, damn, I'm not doing well, or I'm not doing good, I need to step my game up. If that's how you feel and you really want to work harder, then so be it, you know, kudos to you. But I was someone that wanted to be as informative as I could be, so I would be looking on forums and things that people are asking about UWorld because I wanted to know that I'm at a place where I'm doing fine. And I have seen people that were in 48th percentile, 50th, 70th, still passing the NCLEX. At the end, it boils down to your potential and how much effort you put into this. If you want it that bad, you will get it. And if you put in the work, you will reap what you sow, guys. So, you know, of course, take those things with a grain of salt. I think that would be my best advice. Of course, we all want to be in the highest percentile. We all want to get a very high chance of passing and always be above the average of the test that you're taking. I really aim to score higher than the average grade on any test, and I feel like once you're doing that, once it's not like every single test that you're taking it's like this close, or like you're behind it every test and you're like almost there, I feel like you should be comfortable. Just keep working, just keep going through the questions. My average scores, they were like high 60s to like mid 70s. One time I got a 55. I really thought that was the best exam I did that day. Like when I was going through those questions, I was like, I'm getting an 80%, I'm getting an 80 on this test, and then I got 55. It's like, you see, that's what happens when you have too much confidence. But I mean, you're gonna have bad days like that. You get through it. So my second self-assessment that I did it, I think, the week before on the Tuesday. So my exam was the following week on the Monday. I did it on the Tuesday, and then I did 2 more days of questions after that on Wednesday and Thursday, and I scored at 81%, and of course gained a very high chance of passing again. So I was really happy that it gave me again another great peace of mind that I was progressing. Granted that the graph of my performance kind of looks like this. Like it just went up and down because my grades weren't just going high. Like I didn't get like 60, then 65, then 70, then 75 on my tests. That's not how it works. You're still learning content, you're still going through things, you're not going to know everything. You're not going to know everything. Another thing that I would tell you guys, don't cheat yourselves. Do not cheat yourselves. I used to cheat myself at the beginning where I would Google some answers to some questions or go and, look in my book real quick. Don't do it. If you do it 1 and 2 times, I mean, you're human and that's just how we are. Don't let it be that every single time you're doing a test, every single time you're second guessing yourself, you're going to go and look in your book or Google something real quick because, oh, I just need to remember a certain symptom or something like that. Don't do it. You're just hurting yourself. Really think. And if you get it right, it will forever be stuck in your brain. Something that I did to hold myself accountable, I would only give myself 2 tries out of the 120, 140 questions that I would do every day. I would say, Abby, you can only Google or look for something 2 or 3 times. And once I did the 3 times, strike 1, strike 2, strike 3, that was it. I couldn't do anymore. So maybe do something like that where you're still giving yourself a little leeway, but not too much, because you don't want to be cheating yourself by Googling stuff. I mean, granted, you're still learning, but you really want to see where your mind is at and where your knowledge is at and how best you can apply it, because when you go in the NCLEX, you can't do that and you're not going to know everything. You have to draw from the knowledge that you have and make inferences and hope that your way of thinking is aligning with the answer that they want. And if you guys want any of the resources that I mentioned, whether it be links to my Quizlet, because that's where my content review is for most of the topics. So if you would like the link to my Quizlet, feel free to let me know. I am all here for sharing. If you want the more Klimek voiceovers, let me know. If you have any other questions about UWorld, and honestly, if there's anyone out there that needs to use UWorld and somehow you're not able to afford it or your subscription has ended, feel free to use mine. It's just sitting there, and I think my subscription expires August 17th. So if that's something you're interested in, just let me know or ask me privately. You can email me. My email is in the description below, or DM me on Instagram or Twitter, and we can figure something out. I am just here to help, and that is exactly why I made this video. I just want you guys to know you will get through it. I never thought that I would see the end of this journey and that it would just come and go. Monday just came and it's just gone, and now I'm an RN. I'm an RN, and that will be the same outcome for you guys. Just believe in yourselves, understand that it is okay to make mistakes and that you will not know everything, and just take it a day at a time. And of course, work at your own pace. You know, other people might be ahead of you, other people might study in a different way, other people might, just get their sit pass and go and take the exam immediately and pass, and you're like, should I do that? Should I not? Do what makes you comfortable. In the end, you're the one that's going in that exam, and you're the one that's gonna have to sit it. And if you're not comfortable and confident in how prepared you are, then I mean, what's gonna happen? So just have faith. If you're a religious person, you know, pray. I definitely did that. And just do the work, one day at a time. We all have the same 24 hours. We can do it. You can do it. I have faith in you. If I did it, you definitely can do it too. I really hope that I was able to shed some light on anything that you were maybe a little bit unsure of or unwary of, and that I was able to help you in some way in regards to preparing for your NCLEX. Again, if there are any resources that I can provide to you, please feel free to ask or to comment below. And if you have any other questions, I am so open to answering them. I'm so open to helping anyone. I love you all. I wish you all the best of luck. You are gonna do that exam and you are gonna pass. And good luck, stay safe. I love you guys. Mwah.